Hello, my name is Carmen, and today we have a reading about a celebrity. So I feel like I should probably start off by saying this is for entertainment purposes only. And then we also have the legal proceedings card. Now, this could just be somebody who, I don't know, has like a traffic violation or somebody who's going through a divorce that's famous. But this feels a little bit more like we got somebody who has been caught up in something they felt like they would be able to avoid consequences for. So let's call in spirit with a little bit of wind chime time. And I hope you're having a good day so far. If you're interested in a personal reading, I would love to do one for you. My email address is wickedonestarot@gmail.com. It's in the description box, as is more information on how to become a member. Thank you to the current members. I did just make a post regarding this week, in part because I was kind of not feeling very well. I mean, I'm running behind this week. I've offered for the stars and the towers to replace that members live stream. So check my post if you haven't seen that already. And then hello to editor, how are you doing? We're gonna start with the Waitsmith. What do we have regarding this celebrity? Maybe we'll see the star card come out. What else do we have? Hanged Man in the reverse. Queen of Pentacles. Refusing to change one's behavior, refusing to see that someone was right about maybe you shouldn't do that. That doesn't seem like a good idea. This feels to me like someone who tried to advise this celebrity to be a little bit more cautious with their decisions. And the celebrity was like, you know who I am? I'll be fine. I'll be fine. Hello, Dennis. How you doing? For some, this could be a partner, a wife or a husband. We have the 10 of Cups in the reverse and Death. Okay. Well, I don't really have a way to look at this other than I think somebody was harmed. I don't always see the Death card as literal, but I do feel like it is in this case. I do feel like there was an intent to cause harm. And with the 10 of Cups being in the reverse, this could indicate that we have a breakup that went wrong or an argument that escalated very quickly. Hello, Kamar. How are you doing? Hello, Nat. Hello, Carlene. How's your day going? So we've got the 5 of Pentacles and the 9 of Cups in the reverse. I think this is someone who really thought that they were going to be able to cover something up, make it seem like, you know, something was an accident. But now they're realizing that there's some actual issues here. Being able to like walk away from this without any consequences. So it's kind of given like, I thought I, you know, covered my tracks. No one is going to be able to figure out that I was interacting with this person. But then I realized, oops, I think I actually forgot something there. 9 of Cups in the reverse to me is coming through as like, I thought I had everything sorted or figured out, but now it feels like maybe I was just telling myself that it was okay. I'm glad to hear that. Hey, Jonas, I do long, like, private readings that aren't on live streams, starting at $40 USD, and my email address is in the description box. If you'd like to email me, you absolutely can. Otherwise, people will send like a super chat after the general reading. I do personal questions for, you know, tips. So we've got 5 of Wands in the reverse, Temperance, King of Swords. Yeah, I don't want to think about this. I don't want to like tell anyone what happened. I'm going to pretend everything is fine. So this is someone who would have gone about their regular routine like nothing had happened. and kept this truth to themselves. Ace of Wands. The Tower. New information has come up, or information that contradicts this person's alibi, makes it so that they are a person of interest or even a focus in this investigation. Maybe there were messages or a voicemail or even something written down that had been discovered. Maybe there was something more concrete, physical evidence. But now this person who thought that they were going to be able to just kind of like keep doing their thing, now they're realizing, uh-oh, I actually might not be able to avoid this. Chariot in the reverse. It's the wrong car is what I heard. Three of Cups. I feel like someone tried to help this person. Maybe initially we have this friend saying, hey, you shouldn't do that. That seems like a really bad idea. And then when the celebrity actually goes and does that thing, this person's like, okay, so like, how am I supposed to help you with this now? Apologies, this is a little bit more of a dark reading, but I do have others if this one is not as fun for you all. Hello, Monique. Hello, Holy Ghost. How are we doing? This is the Spanish Tarot. Nine of Pentacles in the reverse and the Empress. Two of Cups. We have a codependent partner. Someone who is very clingy, very loving, but it's like, I really want to spend all my time with you. I don't think they were very good at being honest with themselves about the status of the relationship. Meaning, I feel like they looked the other way when the King of Swords was unkind. I do feel like there was some control or questionable couple behavior. Like, you know, naked time. If I cover up all of the naked stuff, then you can't really get a good grasp for the card. But I think this is someone who had some fixation with regards to, I'm trying to think of a nice way to say this, their preferences in the bedroom. I do think that things got a little bit out of control, violent, aggressive. So we have the Page of Swords in the reverse after the Three of Swords in the reverse. Someone lied about injuries. Six of Wands in the reverse. They lied about injuries, and initially it was probably believed, or people just assumed, okay, well, there was probably something else going on here. But then we have someone who's like re-going through the details. Maybe this is where the evidence is found. And now we know this King of Swords is lied, because we have the King of Swords in the reverse. They lied about who they were interacting with, the nature of the relationship, or when they stopped talking to this person, when they last saw them. There's something here where it's like, nah, we were able to figure out that you lied about that. Hello, Mac. How are you doing? Hello, Mac. What's up? Uh-oh. I hope you get some more supplies soon. Hello, Dana. How we doing? So we have the Knight of Cups and the Page of Cups in the reverse. A relationship that at the outset was romantic and playful and made this King of Swords happy or seemed to, you know, be what they were looking for. And then it's like their mood changes on a dime. There's no way to really predict. And their partner felt like they could handle it. But this King of Swords had been keeping secrets as far as their intentions. Yeah, I think this is, our King of Swords had some questionable pursuits. We have the Knight of Pentacles in the reverse. So everything was going smoothly. They felt like they had been able to convince family or friends or the cops that there was no involvement here. I wasn't, you know, hanging out with that person. That's not me. And now they're backed into a corner because whatever they said as far as the, like, oh, we didn't see each other that day or we weren't talking anymore, it's been proven false. And with the Six of Cups in the reverse, there are some old habits or old like patterns that have been discovered. So possibly they're looking back at this King of Swords now because they realize there's some previous history of violence, that kind of thing. Hello, Kat. How are you doing? Ooh, yeah, I suppose he would deny it. I'm going to focus on the general reading until about 30 or 35 minutes in, but I also wanted to just ask if any of you would be able to add a comment for those that are dealing with domestic violence. I am a little bit concerned that I'll say a number that maybe is no longer in operation because I don't know what they have cut. But I want to make sure to mention that those of you that are in a relationship with someone who makes you feel a little bit confused as to how safe you are around them, that's a serious situation, and I would hope that you have someone that's able to assist or at least listen to you. But I wish you healing, and I hope you're able to find a way to get into a safer situation. This is the truth is. So this King of Swords was getting frustrated by their partner, feeling like they were asking for too much. They wanted to move in together. They wanted to get engaged. They wanted to be very public about their relationship. And this King of Swords was more like, maybe a little bit. Let's see how things go. Oh, you know, that would be bad for my career, that kind of thing. They didn't want the commitment. Oops, that's actually for this one, huh? They didn't want to be limited in who they could date or, you know, bang. What else? So there was this round and round, a cycle of high and low emotions with no resolve. We have really great days when we try to pretend that there's no elephant in the room or that we weren't arguing yesterday, but then inevitably we get back to that argument because I want some, you know, additional level of commitment and you are avoiding it. So this person was frustrated because I want this King of Swords to be more committed. I want them to be more focused on me. And the King of Swords seemed to be thinking that this relationship was on its way out. They may have chosen a date where they felt like they needed to be single by. Or they may have said, you know, I want to make sure that I get to go on this like trip with you. You know, I'll get through your birthday or the holidays and then I'm done. But I think they knew it was time for them to walk away. They just didn't communicate it to this person they were seeing. which I will refer to as the High Priestess in the reverse. Well, I don't know. I kind of feel like that's the King of Swords. Because we have someone who was refusing to listen to their intuition, but we also have somebody who is operating in a very secret manner. I do think that there is a plan to move elsewhere. And I think that the King of Swords was specifically thinking of moving elsewhere to avoid some investigation. Okay, you all believe me. I didn't have anything to do with this. Whew, I gotta get out of here before you change your mind. Hello, CCM. How are you doing? I'm sorry, it's not for you. I will give you some advice, though. If you don't like these kind of videos, I wouldn't comment on them, because you're telling the algorithm that you would like to see more of them. Nonetheless, I wish you an amazing new year. Hello, Miss Bonnie. How are you doing? We have the drastic card and the karmic card. So I'm going to cut this person off who's asking me for a higher level of commitment. I would rather be spending time with someone else, or, you know, I don't want to be in a committed relationship. And then I think an argument happens. Done. Completion. Lesson learned. Love, adore, admire, enchantment, lost, ghosted, locked, cut off. Yeah, this is rough. We've got someone who is just willing to keep coming back for more, not really wanting to believe that things were over, even though this King of Swords was saying, I don't even want to see you anymore. I feel like they were quite harsh, and their partner was, I think, crying and like begging for them to reconsider. But this turns into, I feel like, a screaming match. Soulmate, similar, friendship, romantic partner, offer on the table. I think it's because the King of Swords says there's someone else. The King of Swords says, well, there's not much we can do because I'm already interested elsewhere. So this is over. I really don't recommend leveraging that in the context of a breakup conversation. First and foremost, I would strongly encourage you to not get involved with anybody until your relationship is over, if that's where you're at. And when your relationship is over, it's a really good time for you to focus on yourself, right? Heal from those things. Make sure you're not taking any baggage with you to that next relationship. But this is someone who I think the King of Swords wanted to hurt their partner. Perhaps this is the Queen of Pentacles, right? I'm just, not interested in being exclusive, and I'm trying to end things and let you go, but you keep like crying or begging. And so this King of Swords is like, fine, then I'll just tell you, I've already found somebody that, I can replace you with. And I think that's where things get out of hand. This is the Golden Lenormand. Hello, Yuna. How are you doing? Hello, Dive. What else do we have? Number 32, which is the moon. Number 2, wow, the clover, and the owls, number 12. So we have a 2 on all of those. I feel like there's something matching. We also have 2 owls. This makes me think of those like necklaces or charm bracelets where you can split something. And then we also have this soulmate where it's 2 rocks forming a heart. I feel like one of the things that gets this King of Swords caught for what they did is something matchy-matchy. And maybe they left it at the wrong place. Maybe they're foolish and they kept wearing it. Maybe they just have like a bunch of social media. But whatever they were trying to keep hidden regarding their connection to this person who may not be alive anymore, they're not very good at making sure these details are consistent or are not discoverable. So it was never going to be a long time for this person to enjoy being undiscovered, because I don't think they take this very seriously. I definitely don't think they watched Murder, She Wrote. Just don't. Hello, how's it going, Redbeard? No, actually, if you check, well, I don't expect you to. I have too many videos. If you check like a couple years back, you'll see me wearing this. Probably 2 years ago. Yeah, I don't know. I like this one, but it's got like fancy stuff on it, so I don't like to wear it every other day, you know? And it's got like the little, look at those little sleeves. All right, this is A Gamer's Ways. Next generation remake. Some remakes turn out better than others. This one is S tier. You may be sharing a long cherished game with youngins of your own, or enjoying the freshness of it with your player too. This here is a dream come true. This is how the King of Swords felt when they found a like replacement soulmate, or felt like they were going to be able to just like walk away from that connection and start fresh with somebody who they didn't have to constantly talk about relationships with. We have tutorial. A member of your party has discovered something while exploring the archives. It seems to be some essential truth or ancient knowledge. It's likely to have life-changing effects upon absorption of the information. A member of your party. Yeah, I think there is a person, maybe even the new love interest, who discovers a piece of evidence that this King of Swords has regarding their former flame, who may be missing, right? We have a person who may second guess their connection to the King of Swords or their friendship with the King of Swords upon discovery of something that ties them to this missing person. Or no longer breathing person. My condolences, by the way. We've got, you get the good controller, player 1. The console probably belongs to you, so you get to decide what the game is too. Just remember that you also assume responsibility if something goes wrong. Player 1 and player 2 are divine partners. You also assume responsibility if something goes wrong. So this is someone who should have been protective or should have done something to make sure that a person was okay, and they did not. It's making me think of that, I'm not going to know any of the names, but there was some dude who convinced his wife to jump out, like go, what's it called? When you jump out of a plane, do you have a parachute? You know? Turned out that the husband had sabotaged the parachute and the backup parachute. Like, come on, guys. Probability-wise, the chances of both of those being destroyed are way below 0. Can we just be a little bit smarter and less murdery? So the dude got found out, right? There was some video or ability to see that he'd taken the parachute into the bathroom with him for 5 minutes right before she went on the plane. So it's like, yeah, you should have been trying to protect that person. Instead, you're destroying the protection that would have helped them. So this King of Swords was heartless or uncaring when someone was in a perilous situation. Perhaps felt like things were supposed to be tough for this discarded ex of theirs, because they had somebody new and they're like, I'm just doing my own thing, thank you. Character skin. A player has lied about who they are or cast a good old-fashioned illusion spell. The situation has given us erroneous details or possibilities, and it's becoming overwhelming. Take a pause and tune into your intuition. Answers should become clear. And then we also have solo campaign. A member has left the party. It's a difficult situation and feelings could be raw for multiple players. At these times, remember that the developers set these events in motion for a reason. Look for the lesson. This King of Swords did not want to learn the lesson from their interaction with this, should we call him Queen of Pentacles? The one who was very in love, very almost like clingy, like anything I can do, like you let me know because I want to be with you. This King of Swords is trying to almost like duplicate or have like a second run of the same kind of thing with a new person and trying to completely block or cut out their original lover. And, well, let's get some tarot actually. And I feel like that's where the volatility comes into play. The King of Swords telling their ex, well, I've found someone new anyways, I don't need you, could be like the catalyst to a pretty difficult argument that they have. Rachel, you getting a bacon cheeseburger today? I might have to get one. I haven't had a burger in a long time. Did I say hello to Matt? Shawshank? Five of Spheres or Five of Pentacles in the reverse. The Lovers in the reverse. I know you've chosen someone new, or I know you don't want to be with me anymore, but I'm coming back around anyways and like demanding that you choose me is the energy I'm getting. Like, you don't want to choose me, but like that new person ain't it. Like, just be honest with yourself. I don't know if this is just super denial or like desperation, or if this person's calling out the King of Swords because they know there is really a connection between the two of them that the King of Swords is not willing to admit. But we have the Tower in the reverse. It's like I did this crazy thing, or, you know, this horrible thing happened, but then I look around and it's just like crickets, you know? It's kind of hard to get inside this person's mind because I don't really want to be there, but it feels to me like they're thinking about how in movies when, you know, cataclysmic things happen, or when like the main character is harmed, there's this like, oh, and then people call the cops and they look around and they're like, nothing's happening. I don't think this person feels remorse. I think they just feel like things escalated and I had to deal with it. Strength and Six of Swords in the reverse. Five of Cups in the reverse. They had an opportunity to walk away, to realize that this argument was getting out of control, to avoid doing something they would regret, but they did not walk away. I think because they were just a little bit too, it's like this person's like very curious. Like, what is this like? What is that? What would that feel like? But they don't really think about other people's feelings. Hello, Roberts. How are you doing? Yeah, who are you talking to? Let us know. Hello, Tina. I appreciate it. Hello, Lemonade. How are we doing? Yes, Rachel, you know it. That's definitely one of those lyrics that I love that song. Was it just called Icebox? The Mario? Who is it? We have this conversation every time, don't we? Hello, Zats. Hello, Carrie. How we doing? Hello, Bub. Marian. Yes, yes, yes. Now I'm going to have to go listen to that after this. All right. So this is somebody who seems to be a little bit heartless. Seems to have an ice box where that heart used to be. Hanged Man, Ace of Spheres or Ace of Pentacles in the reverse, Eight of Swords in the reverse. I don't like that. So this King of Swords does something to quiet their ex and then they feel free. Again, this is for entertainment purposes only, but this is not the right way to handle an argument. And then they run away. I don't think this person thinks ahead. Four of Wands in the reverse. Of course they don't. It's like they leave something at the scene. They tell someone where they really were. Like, this person is not a good criminal. Maybe you're a great celebrity. You're not a good criminal. Because they leave something. It's like a signature. Or they make it a little bit too easy for people to figure out what happened. And probably because they're a little bit delusional, thinking that they won't ever have consequences. Hello, Manny. How are you doing? Hello, Anugraha. How are you doing? Thank you, Nat. Affirmations. I got you. Hello, Matt. How are you doing? I'm even wearing kind of red. I don't know. I guess it's kind of like a muted red. All right, y'all. This deck is definitely appropriate for this one since we got some lack of self-control. Three of Wands. I feel like this was someone who harmed their ex and then tried to get assistance from someone that was not, like, at the hospital. See how the person in the background has, like, a lab coat? Hey, it's a thing. It's a lot of people deal with that. And we have the Hermit. Yeah, I feel like there is an argument that escalates. This King of Swords is not able to control their aggressive tendencies. There's injuries. There is an attempt to get someone to help with said injuries. And then we have someone sitting here alone like, oh. Obsessively thinking about what could potentially happen now. Judgment in the reverse. I shouldn't have done that. Ace of Pentacles in the reverse. Took it too far. Now I have consequences. Yeah. This is, you know, someone who needed to really, like, take a breather and remove themselves from a situation. I'd have to find it first. Ooh, Lord. I might be able to find it. It might be in like a coat bag. But yes, I do like doing that. It was kind of frustrating that I couldn't wear a costume on Halloween because I wanted to. Yeah, I think we should do that. Hello, Martzana. How are you doing? Yes. So we have the Seven of Wands. I think this is the King of Swords with their ex. Someone else was there in the background. This could also talk about like the ex, the Queen of Pentacles, finding the King of Swords, has been seeing someone else. But we have this witness. I know this person seeing that person and this person seeing that person, or I saw them with this person on that night. 8 of Wands and the 4 of Cups in the reverse. Creative escape. I know I need to not be seen, so maybe I'll just like switch clothes with someone or, you know, find a wig. This is someone who felt like they were creative about getting out of a place. Felt like they were smart or strategic as far as like being unseen, but they were not. There's someone who saw them. The Magician. 7 of Pentacles. 2 of Swords. So I thought about what I could actually do in that situation. Thought about what, you know, had gone on leading up to that moment. But then it's like my mind gets blank and I'm not thinking about anything else except for destruction. The Fool. Nine of Wands in the reverse. So I did something, I felt like I could just, you know, run away or invest myself in a new relationship, move elsewhere, start a new job, and I would be able to forget this. But the reality is this continues to haunt that person. And now there are more questions being asked about what actually happened between these two. Because something doesn't fit. Something doesn't, like whatever their storyline is or their timeline, it's not right. There's either a witness or something connecting this person to the scene. And it's like, you're out of your element, Donnie. Like, I don't think they understand just how problematic it is. All right, I'm going to get into the personal questions. I just realized we're at 38 minutes. That's my bad. But yeah, this is a celebrity who's going to probably get in trouble. We'll leave it at that. Hello, Sleepy Shark. How are you doing? Hello, Spy Shark. Yes. Thank you for liking and subscribing. I appreciate it. Oh, I should have mentioned, this is for Nat Nat. What does Nat need to hear, please? Stop trying to skip the struggle. It drops the F-bomb, but I know YouTube will get mad at me. Stop saying yes to ish you hate. Meditation, also known as shutting the F up for a few minutes. I feel like you've got too much noise around you. Too many people asking you to do stuff. You don't have to rebuild a relationship with everyone that you have forgiven. Guess who ain't gotta explain ish to nobody? You. The secret to being a good human is learning not to take your ish out on others. Your brain speaks total effery Unless you turn your soul on. I feel like you've been dealing with somebody who struggles to be in touch with their humanity, their emotional side. They might be super analytical or logical, or this is someone who's very manipulative. And if they're trying to make you feel like you have to do something to be kind or generous or help them in some way, I feel like you're being told, no, you don't have to do that. This person is expecting something that they shouldn't expect from you. Anything else? Knight of Swords in the reverse, 10 of Swords, and the Emperor. A chapter is about to close for you, Nat. I do feel like this is in the very near future. There's knowledge that you have that acts as like building materials, which sounds kind of strange, perhaps. But I see you like fortifying your situation, which probably means leaving people in the past, focusing on yourself. Yeah. So I see you being able to be much more abundant in the near future because you find it easier to prioritize or say no to things. You find time for yourself. And you're not going to take other people's, you know, like trying to make you feel bad or trying to make you feel guilty about something. Hello, Chris. Hello, Vishal. Hello, Erling. How are you? Oh, you're so welcome, Nat. Did I say hello to Mike? Chris would like any advice for a single guy. 9 of Cups in the reverse, 8 of Pentacles in the reverse, and the Knight of Cups. I feel like your focus is maybe on the wrong elements. This is like you need to think more in depth about what you're actually attracted to, who you want to be with. Okay, I might get some crap for this, but some people place a lot of importance on like a dude's height, for example. If you're not 6 foot, then I don't want to date you. You all do your own thing. I just don't understand that. I think it's a little ridiculous. If someone's 5'11", they are no longer attractive. Okay. There is something here, Chris, where you might be a little bit too focused on physical or focused on things that are not actually deal breakers. And I also feel like there's some issue here with seeking out people who are, it's not like you're like, hey, I want to sign up to be in a relationship with someone who's manipulative, but I feel like you end up with people who are, can I just say conceited? Or self-absorbed. Maybe the type that is difficult to trust because they're very invested in what they look like. I'm not telling you that you can't go with somebody who you find attractive. I'm just saying I think there needs to be a little bit more investigation into the emotional side and whether or not this is somebody who is able to communicate. Hey, thank you, Chris. I appreciate that. Hello, Kevin. How are you doing? Hello, Duva. Hello, Marit. Or Marit. Has Marit's action, I hope I'm saying that right, I'm sorry, made a difference? Yes. I see like fortification, making something stronger. With Temperance in the reverse, despite there being a formidable opponent or stress. Yeah. You're coming through as this Queen of Wands. Yeah. You did something effective here. The way I'm seeing it in my mind is I love to play pool. I haven't played in a while, but when someone puts, or I suppose it could apply to golf too, puts just the right amount of power and spin to make a difficult shot happen. Hello, Mila. So that's what I feel like you did. I'm doing well. Thank you, Mila. Yeah, I would agree with that, Mike. Yes, thank you for the likes and the subscribes. I'm looking for a question. Did I say hello to Vishal? I think I did. If not, I did now. Kevin would like to know, did mom hide money in the house before she passed away? My condolences. Did she hide money in the house? Yes. Not in a very easy place either. I feel like, okay, is this saying that there's going to be a sign? No, I feel like there is some tie to books or knowledge. Maybe it's by the desk. Maybe it's hidden in a book. Will Kevin find the money? As of right now, I don't see you finding the money. It might be really well hidden. Is there someone else that would be able to help Kevin? Is she trying to help him find it? No. Yeah, I would go towards where books are, but I feel like she did a very good job of hiding this. Look, there are times where I've hidden money and I completely forgot that I had hidden that money. And legitimately one day on my birthday, I found $400 in cash. And I was like, it's gonna be a better birthday than I thought it was gonna be. I do feel like this is gonna take some concerted effort. Like, it's not just I'm gonna look for 30 minutes and then I found it, but I do feel like there's money there. Is it worth all the effort? Yes, it is. Knight of Cups, Queen of Cups. So I hope that helps. Bearcat, you crack me up. Oh, I hope you do, Monique. Monique is asking about whether or not she'll get where I am, I guess is what you're saying, with the new tarot deck family. Wish fulfillment. Yes, indeedy. Four of Pentacles and the Two of Swords in reverse. There's going to be somebody who's going to get greedy with your time in the future and make you feel like you have to choose them. And I think you're going to choose your project, your focus instead. So just be cautious. Hello, Regina. How are you doing? Is that a different mic? Hello, Mike. Hello, Cozy Cat. How are you doing? So we've got for my financial and home situation. What does Cozy Cat need to know about finances and living situation? The Lovers, the Four of Swords, Page of Wands in the reverse. 5 of Cups in the reverse. Is this a decision that Cozy Cat needs to make? No. This is someone else trying to make a decision regarding some finances. Is this like a job offer? So I feel like you're about to hear some news, and the way that you take it is really important. It's one of those things where you could look at the negative of it, or you could see how it sets you up to have success with something else. So this could be like, hey, this place doesn't have any available apartments or homes, but then you find the place that you are supposed to find. So I kind of feel like this is saying be patient. If there is something that does not go through, it's because there's something better that is meant for you, and you're going to be happy with how things turn out. Is there something that Cozy Cat needs to do right now? Yes. Temperance, 4 of Wands, Knight of Pentacles in the reverse. 4 of Wands is in the reverse. This is saying basically do what you can to minimize instability. I feel like this is saying if you are, you know, living with someone else right now, go above and beyond as far as making sure things are clean and that they know you're grateful for this. Because I feel like there is a problem coming up. Is this like an argument? No, I think it's just a reality of some situation that maybe your twin doesn't want to talk to you about or is difficult to tell you about. Just like needing some more contribution financially. Yeah. So if things get a little bit more frustrating for you, make sure that you're communicating. But there could also be something about your twin not knowing how to broach the subject with you. So open line of communication is super important. But I believe in you. Hello, great one. How are you doing? Hello, Catherine. What's up? All right, y'all. I'm getting hungry. I think I'm going to leave it there. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for the subscribes. If you're able to hype the video, I appreciate that as well. Hello, Norman. Welcome to the channel. I'll be back, and I hope to see you on the next reading. Toodles.